morning, y'all. Lisa. Hey. Hey, Lori. Nicole. Marina in Florida. Hey, Allie, Nova Scotia. Hey, everyone. Good to see y'all. All the conditions have to be right. My incense, very important. This is like a cigar lighter. Nicole, check it out. Got some new sage. Everything is feeling very cleansed. Good morning, Asal. Lori, the final count. Oh my gosh, the final countdown. Who sang that? That's hilarious. Hey, Lucia. Asal, good morning. Lorena. Lolo party in the house. Hey, Mom. Yeah, I know. The last week thing. I know. We'll still keep it going, just probably on a weekly basis. Maybe weekend mornings, perhaps Saturdays and Sundays, we'll still convene. Magical Monday. Yeah. Or maybe some evening ones as well. We'll do some evening group meds. Good morning, Jazz. All right, hopefully you're sitting comfortably. Let's have a short discussion on some yoga philosophy, then we'll do a meditation. Can you stream Wednesdays? Yeah, the Kintsugi studio is actually working on streaming the whole class, believe it or not. So I'll continue to do my my mornings, most likely. I mean the meditations, rather, at the beginning of the class. Okay, so we're discussing more Yoga Sutras, right? The seminal text on yoga philosophy. So in the middle of the second chapter, the Sadhana Pada, we come to the 8-limbed path towards enlightenment, also known as Ashtanga Yoga. So the first of the 8, Yama, which are moral guidelines for life, Niyama, the 5 disciplinary areas in our life, and then the third of the 8 limbs, Asana. What does asana mean? It means seat. That's the literal translation. So Patanjali says that in order for us to find enlightenment, we've got to know how to sit right. Well, as with all the sutras, he's very cryptic, very succinct, and he packs as much knowledge into as short of a thread of wisdom as possible, because this was an oral tradition, and students of yoga back in the ancient times were required to memorize these sutras. So the shorter they are, the easier it is for the guru to teach orally to the student, and the student can memorize them. However, the sutras are only guideposts, fingers pointing at the moon. The moon, or the explanation, the expansion, the expounding upon the sutras, is where the juice really is realized. And that's why a student needs a living teacher. The sutras themselves, as I mentioned, are cryptic and short. They need to be taught. They need to be explained and taught in the context of one's life and of one's personal sadhana, personal practice. Hey, Kelly, good morning. So, as I've mentioned quite a few times, because it's a little bit humorous, in all of the 196 sutras, there are a total of 3. Well, actually, it's not true. There are 4. 4 sutras on poses, on physical yoga. The first of the 4 is where Patanjali just enumerates all 8 limbs, where he lists them, and one of the 8 is asana, so that's the one. Then we come to Sutra 246. 246, 47, and 48 are the 3 that describe and teach asana from a perspective of mental yoga, of Raja Yoga. So how do we practice physical things, physical poses, in the context of yoga philosophy? How do we make our physical practice spiritual? How do we invite in elements of superphysical existence and spiritual growth into physical yoga? Well, I'm self-proclaiming that that's been my mission as a yoga teacher in my life since I took my first yoga training in 2013. How do we incorporate spirituality into the physical practice? Because otherwise it's just acrobatics. It's just physical shapes. Well, these 3 sutras give us a lot of clues on how to do that. And of course, it depends on the teacher that's explaining them. So Sutra 246, it's kind of comical. Here we go. Here's the profound teaching on asana. Posture should be steady and comfortable. Gee, thanks, Patanjali. That really tells us a lot about alignment and about breathing, right? It's kind of a famous sutra in the world of yoga. In Sanskrit, Sthira Sukham Asanam. Sthira Sukham Asanam. Stability, comfort is asana. Posture or asana should be steady and comfortable. That principle is profound, and it can be applied in every single yoga posture that we do, even if it's a one-leg balancing pose. Of course, if it's a pose that's very grounding and groundful, it's not a real word, but if you can imagine any poses that have a lot of connection to earth, of course, there's stability there. There needs to be a way to release a little bit of the efforting. Yes, there does need to be physical effort. That's all hatha yoga. All physical yoga implies some kind of friction and effort. However, not straining. No tense effort. It's a relaxation of the stress and straining. And yet there's stability and comfort in all poses. So, especially meditative poses. Right? Meditative poses being any of the seated asanas, where we're seated firmly into the ground and our spine is growing tall, and we're able to, the consciousness is able to, in effect, leave the physical body because it's been attended to. Now, I would love to go deeper into each of these, but that's going to be reserved for our workshop at Kintsugi Yoga that Celine is helping us mastermind, so be on the lookout for the advertisements for the Ashtanga series of workshops at Kintsugi Yoga. All right, so 246 tells us how to practice it. It tells us what the practice of asana is in light of Raja Yoga. Sutra 247, he tells us what to do while in the poses, how to practice it. He says, by relaxation of effort and meditation on the infinite, the posture is mastered. So this is how to master physical poses. Relaxation of physical effort and meditation on the infinite. That's how the physical yoga pose is mastered. So the mind has to intend to transcend the body during physical yoga. Yes, there needs to be complete body awareness. The body needs to be safe and aligned and stable and healed. But the mind is intending to focus. So our seed thought is going to be something greater than the physical body, the infinite, the most lofty concept that can be, all of the cosmos, the divine mind that created the cosmos, the divine architect, if you will, Ishwara. That's Sutra 247. And then Sutra 248, he gives us the results of mastering an asana. And this is very cool. After the asana has been mastered, we will no longer be assaulted by the pairs of opposites. From that, meaning mastery of the asana, no assaults from the pairs of opposites. Now this is profound. He chooses the word assault very intentionally. So what are the pairs of opposites? Well, they're all around us. Everything in the physical world has polarity. Everything in life has its nature and then its opposite. An up and down, a light and dark, a male and female, a happy and sad, a moving out and a return home. This is represented in everything we do. Every action has a reaction. Every force has a counterforce. When we leave the house in the morning to go out into the world and do things, we come home at night and rest. We wake up with energy. We go to sleep with depleted energy to recharge. Exactly, Lorena, exactly. Left, right, north, south. It's everything in the physical world has to have polarity or else it wouldn't be in existence at all. And he chooses the word assault. Hey, Christina, I'm glad to see you. We are assaulted by these opposites in life. We are almost attacked by this constant back and forth, this play of outward and inward, good and bad. We like it, we dislike it, we're attracted, we're repulsed. Think about it. The more controlled in our mental acuity, the sharper our mental acuity is and the more controlled in our emotional appetites we are, the less we'll be thrown around by these pairs of opposites. But Patanjali specifically says that when you live in the world, you're assaulted by all of the positives and negatives around us. When you master your yoga asana, when you practice posture with stability and ease, and you master it, you become able to conquer the constant assault of opposites in the world. Good morning. So that's profound. So if we treat our physical yoga practice like that, those are the steps towards enlightenment. Let's do a meditation. Okay, let's sit comfortably. Let's sit with stability. Sthira Sukham Asana. Steady, comfortable. So if the knees can rest on the earth, that's good. You can't actually see what my knees look like. The camera doesn't show that. So my seated pose is this. It's roughly referred to as Sukhasana or easy pose. I don't do lotus when I meditate. So my knees are solid on the ground. My ankles and tops of the feet are on the ground, but they're not crossed. This is what's comfortable for me. But the knees are certain points of stability down into the earth. So are the sitting bones. So are the shins. And that allows me to be comfortable. Oh, and I should also show you. So I sit kind of on the edge of this meditation cushion thing here. It's the edge of it. So it's about, I don't know, 4 inches thick, 3 inches thick, just enough to elevate the hips a little bit. So for me, that's very comfortable, but you can certainly do a hero's pose. This works too. If that's comfortable for you, yeah, hero's pose, or anything that is comfy. We don't want you to have to fidget. We don't want you to have to adjust if possible. Whatever gives you the most stability without having to adjust for, 10 minutes maybe. 8 minutes. All right, let's breathe for a little bit, please. Adjust your shoulders, adjust the spine. Close the eyes, let the face relax. Deepen the inhales and exhales. Ujjayi, victorious breath in the throat. We become victorious over our emotions by breathing this way and mastering our asanas. Feel in space that your spine is perpendicular to the ground. If you choose, if your hands are on your knees, you can connect the thumb and index fingers. That's typically how I sit with my hands on my knees. Thumb and index are connected. The rest of the fingers are gently on the knees. But you can do whatever you want with your hands. Relax the face. So considering that Patanjali tells us stability and comfort is the key to mastering our asanas, what breathing technique would we want to apply? We'd want to apply 1-to-1 ratio breathing, just the most stable, consistent, and even breath possible. So let's work with the metronome here. I usually suggest a 4, 5, or 6 second duration. Try to go longer with it though. See if you can extend your comfortable normal lung capacity by 1 or 2 seconds. So make the inhale complete from empty lungs to full lungs, and make the exhale complete from full lungs to empty lungs. As you inhale, you'll notice that the collarbones will lift, but don't let the shoulders lift up towards the ears. Also notice the quality or strength of the breath at the beginning of the inhale versus the end of the inhale, and make them the same. Same thing with the exhale. The strength and rate of exhale when you start the exhale, make it the same as when you end the exhale at the bottom of the lungs. No retentions today, no holds, just complete, pure Ujjayi breathing. If you can slow it down longer, maybe 8, 9, 10 seconds, experiment with this. Increase your stability. Continue to refine the smoothness of the breath the entire time, evening out all roughness, any inconsistencies. Please release the breathing technique and be still. Our intention is to be as stable as possible, and I'd like you to visualize a very pleasing image of a giant oak tree or a giant sequoia or a giant redwood tree. Develop an awareness of the trunk, and understand the similarities between the trunk of this giant, powerful tree and the spine in your body. Now just become aware of what the root system of this tree looks like, the stability that it implies, the depth into the earth to which the roots dig and settle. then develop an awareness of the canopy of the tree. And invite into your physical body the same qualities. Invite into your pranayama kosha, your energetic body, the energetic qualities of this tree. What kind of energy does a giant redwood tree carry with it? Is it stable? Is it calm? Use this technique to connect with nature and to invite in to your being the same qualities for stability and ease. Knowing that when you're in tune and grounded like this, you are in the flow of life. You're in sync with nature around you. And we know that when we are in sync with nature, life flows. Life flows effortlessly. And we are no longer assaulted by the pairs of opposites around us. Meditate on the height of the spine, the rootedness of your body into the earth, and the canopy of your tree, growing upwards towards enlightenment. Deep inhale and exhale. Palms to the chest in a show of gratitude for yourself, for your own practice. Gratitude is the foundation for any forward motion. We have to be grateful for what we have now. Complete state of acceptance for where we are currently. And only then can we move forward with effectiveness and conscious awareness. One more deep inhale, please. Open the mouth. Good. Have a beautiful day, beautiful week. It's Monday. Go make some magic out there. It's going to be a warm one. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Daria, such a pleasure to see you. Yes, grateful. Love you all. So great to see you. Thank you for joining. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Michelle. Namaste. Yes. Hello, Dee. Jenna. Hey. Thank you, Genevieve. I love that you're trying this meditation thing, Jenna. That's awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lori.